said, what did he say? Basically, I'm getting in too early on my trades. Like I have, I have the right analysis, but I always front run the confirmations.
That was my problem too. I'm still getting too early.
And
It's because
I
when go through.
what
No, go through.
I asked her what's the like more important confirmations I should be considering before looking at a trade. Oh, also my zoom in fucks me up. But it said that I need to make sure that Valium and CBD are my priority. Oh, obviously key level, but it said key level and then Valium and then CBD, and then you could consider where limit orders are and an LVN. It
The
said
thing
to
that
it's
the thing
on
that
Valium.
fucks me. It's on Valium. Yeah.
What?
Valium's the most important.
That was like the number one thing I need to focus on.
The thing is, like, when I see the Valium shift happen, like I get an impulse to enter right away, and then it's
But
still
that's
kind
the
of too late.
thing. It's not that the volume shift isn't necessarily the clue. It's the aggressiveness of the like look at your last three trades. If you look at realized that you pointed out that on neither of them volume was applicable.
Yeah.
And then I look at the one that you did take, which was a winner. Hold up, I'll just share this shit. This is like the trade you won on here. The main thing is seeing this aggression, at least for this setup where it's an absorption setup at demand, is seeing the aggressive selling uh step in like very, very aggressive. Obviously I did see you took a long here. And the shift is starting to happen. So I could see where that would be like tricky to get in there. But like one of the main things is seeing that aggressive selling step in, and then you start to look for that shift in buyers. Like if you just see selling and it's just like mediocre selling, then the time to enter is not yet because we're still gonna get that aggressive volume of sellers step in, and then you want to get that shift of buyers to step in.
Yeah.
Like look at the one you took. Where's that other one? Like this one, it almost looked like you just were taking a breakout here.
It does, but that's the thing. I was gonna say, when I zoom in at the, because I zoom in at the 30 seconds to take the entries. So when I zoom out, it does look like a breakout. But the thing is, when I zoom in too much, I feel like I'm letting price digest around my price, but it's such a small time frame that it's not enough.
Yeah, I was telling it that too, and it said that that is a tricky part of Bookmap, where if you zoom in too much, the volume does start to get tricky. So it said specifically, where is it? Mm,
Hey, by the way, do you have like a limit on how many posts you can give it?
Photos, yes,
Photos,
not
yeah. Yeah,
it's
photos.
2 or 3 a day, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, let me see. I think it was this one. Click my order, recognizing delta volume shift before a move. Okay, is it this question? See what else? Delta volume with my purchase. Let's see. Is it this? Oh, you know I mentioned Zoom. I hate when I lose these things.
You should screenshot if you think they're important.
I know.
There's not a tool where you can highlight.
Oh, where's that little search? There was search chats. Book map. Zoom. I think it's this one. Here's how I define. This shit better not go forward. Oh wait, is it right here? This is where the zoom aspect confuses me. Oh, excellent. You're zeroing in exactly on the nuance most traders miss with bookmap, relative volume context plus zoom deception. Let's break this down clearly. First one, before the burst buyers. Hold up. Zoom tricky. What the fuck? I could have sworn it was more detailed. But basically, it says not to zoom in until you see the aggression of volume step in, and then you zoom in to focus on where your entry is. Because when you zoom in too early, then you start to get tricked by those volume bars. Like right, where does it say? You see the true relative scale of those events in relation to the session. Anchor your volume analysis to known context zones. Fuck, I wish I had it. I don't know where it went. But like here, because you know how you could be zoomed out and you can still see, like you can see when this happens, like this aggressiveness that happened here. You could be zoomed out and you'll see this volume bar pop up way larger than the other volume bars. So that's when once you see that is when you would want to enter. Like that was
Because what also fucked me up on that first trade is that the little rally it had before I exited looked way bigger zoomed out. So that's why I exited, and then right after it dropped to my target. Because zooming in is really fucking me.
Because like right here, are you on the? Yeah, this is the 15-second.
Yeah, I was on the 30-second though.
Like
when I
if you
took-
were, I mean, we could just replay this. I guess maybe that would be best. This is Friday.
Yep.
Oh, I don't have Friday. You have to share it.
Me? I can't remember.
Why?
My shit was still kind of.
I thought you could now.
That was Eloy.
I thought we all could now.
I know we all could now.
How do you do it then?
At the bottom it says share your screen.
Nope.
What do you see?
I have mute, microphone settings, deafen, and user settings.
Sucks.
What do you see, Eloy?
Yeah, I have a whole menu. It does say share your screen. Like I have that.
See, mine doesn't.
As the
You don't
disconnect.
see this?
Nope.
What did I just do? Oh shit. I'm in the matrix. Change the window.
We had this problem last time, remember?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time
Ah,
any of us shared, so that must have been a while ago.
you don't have Friday, Eli?
Nah,
Damn, you guys lagged it.
I don't mind admitting I lagged it this week. A lot of shit going on.
Fuck, fuck this week.
I went hard for Juneteenth.
I guess I'll
Yeah,
do it today then. Is there a trade on this day? 16, 16, 16. Oh, this wasn't a setup though. I mean, it's happening. Can you guys see this book map?
Yeah.
This one was tough though because the volume wasn't as present. Even looking here, the volume's weak in the 12,000. Oh, this is on the 2 minute. Ah, that's whack.
it's gonna be a short one or what?
Yeah, that's all I got, you guys. No, I'm kidding. But I already forgot what I was saying, to be honest.
Oh, we don't have to go through the days. We can just go through like the stuff we need to work on, or maybe something like that.
Like, I just want to show an example of the zoom out thing.
Yeah.
I think this is an absorption trade here. It's a reclaim. Shit. But what I've realized anyway, whether it's an absorption trade or a reclaim level retest, even the LVN, is that you get that aggressive. Look at here how these aggressive sellers, you can see it in the volume, and you could see it in the way the bubbles are kind of presenting themselves here. Like you could tell aggressive sellers are stepping in here, and even in this situation, rather than waiting for that aggressive volume to step in, I get in instantly after it breaks above yesterday's high and then pulls back and retest it. I'm seeing this as a reclaim level retest of yesterday's high. Plus, we have the 2 hour demand down here. So that added confirmation to that this could be support. But I entered so early, I most likely was zoomed in here, and I entered just seeing the retests come in and buyers were here. But the real entry would have been after seeing this aggressive volume and then seeing that no sellers continue to push this lower and then this push here. So the real entry would be like around right here on this push up, but the hint is not necessarily the shift in volume yet, it's the aggressive selling failing to break lower.
Yeah. Plus CVDs making higher highs and all that stuff.
Exactly. Like if you I've even realized it, like I know when I'm entering a position, I kind of feel when I'm entering early because I haven't seen this aggressive push in volume yet, but my dumbass still gets in. And what I want to look focus on moving forward is like say market does come to my reclaim level retest here. I need to make sure that I see this aggressive push in volume and it fail right after. So like this is the aggressive push of sellers, and then right after, selling is still trying, but it's not trying at the same level that it previously was. So that's showing me that the selling is dying down, and then you get that shift in volume here.
The problem is with that big ass green bar shift, it happens so fast.
Yeah, it definitely does. I have one here where I think it was this one actually. No, where is it? Oh yeah, here. But even look at this. This is a reclaim level retest as well. It pops up in the morning here from the open into supply, and then it consolidates at pre-market high. But one positive thing about this was every time it got above pre-market high, volume popped up aggressively way more than selling was beneath pre-market high. So here, pre-market high, it pops above, volume gets aggressive. Here, it's not as aggressive, but it gets aggressive again above pre-market high. Here, uh, buying volume starts to kind of try to build up above pre-market high. This one's kind of weak, but here above, this is where it starts to get like where my antenna starts to pop up. Like, okay, we're back above pre-market high again, and volume got more aggressive than the selling next to it. It's still not my sign to enter yet, but once this aggressive selling tries to break under pre-market high, this is that reclaim and then retest here. Aggressive selling tries to break lower. Look at compared to all the others bars here, this is the highest bar at the moment, if you're not seeing this one. And then right after, the selling instantly dies down, and then it just like slowly is chopping here before it gets this pop up. So if I knew this kind of action was bullish, then this would be a good sign to enter on this like little uh accumulation that occurs here before the pop-up. But I showed ChatGPT this and I asked it where would be the best opportunity to enter because I initially was thinking like this would be my entry point because it popped up then pulled back and I was like, oh, aggressive buying is stepping in. I would get in here with the stop underneath over here. But it said the true sign was that this selling failed and then instantly right after no more selling came in. The entry for ChatGPT said would be like around here.
I mean, technically, the selling never even broke below the little rectangle. You any entry could have been good. You just had to wait.
I mean, yeah, but your stop would have to be kind of far if you like if for it to be incorrect. Whereas here you could just use the bottom of this
But
aggressive.
that's saying if you get in perfectly. We're not getting in perfectly every time.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
if I would have entered on this perfect trade, I've already been entered my fourth trade because I would have been stopped out a bunch of times. I'd be over trading
But
at
that's
that
why I'm
point.
saying you don't want to enter on these.
No, I
You want
know.
to wait for the
Oh, go ahead.
aggressive volume push down and then enter like at 78, maybe even 80 when you
You
see
know
more volume stepping in. And then you
that
could say
also
stop at like underneath these limit orders.
that also bugs me too. When it rallies, it doesn't come back to your entry, and you have to get like a shittier entry. That annoys me a lot.
For sure.
Have you guys learned how to, or this isn't like a for sure thing, but like the way it's all that limit orders are sitting there, but it's kind of like poking at it, kind of letting you know it's getting in, like it's getting absorbed, but used up. Where when there's like immediate rejection and it's not even getting into the color of the limit orders, like that's when you know it's going to reject for sure. I'm sure
Like
that's,
aggressively.
yeah, like let's just say it's like that's not even getting into the color of the limit orders, like the little heat waves. It's not even getting into it at all. Where that's kind of like a sign of rejection. But then when it's kind of like sitting at it, but it's like sometimes it's going into it into like the heat waves. It's kind of like, oh, someone's like accepting these orders, so it might go. That's not like
Oh
a for
yeah,
sure thing to be like, oh, that's the answer. It's more of like I just been noticing that lately when I watch Bookmap.
You're saying it in that situation it's gonna break the limit orders?
That's not a for sure thing that I feel. It's just how I've noticed some things where I'm like, oh, like the
Yeah.
orders aren't rejecting it immediately. Like this is kind of getting into the orders.
I do know what you mean. But that's where
I
I
was
keep
taking
messing
absorption.
up. That's where I keep messing up because it'll like for example here, this is the exact situation.
Yeah.
It pops up, kind of taps it, then it pops up, eats into it more, pops up, kind of eats into it a little more, eats into it more, and then here, obviously, it eats into it more here, and this is making me bullish, especially because it's buying, it's showing buying volume above pre-market high. But say I was looking at a short here, because it's not breaking fully through the limit orders, I used to be like, "Oh, it's absorbing the limit orders, it's gonna reject." But the problem with that for me is that I need to see a rather than just seeing this kind of volume pushing into it, I need to see this kind of buying volume push into it and it not break. And then that would be the
Mhm.
sign that, okay, this is truly getting absorbed. That's my whole point of like, you need to see that aggressive push of volume to really show true absorption. And then that's a sign like, okay, it's not breaking that level.
What I also been noticing, that's been helping me is what you said about when pullbacks pull back, but the CVD doesn't make a lower low.
Oh, yeah, that's key.
Yeah, that helped me.
Even the trade you took this past, uh, right here, that's another thing. Like sometimes this could have avoided you from getting in long here. It breaks obviously there's aggressive selling here. I'm not sure when you're zoomed out what it looks like compared to the other bars, but CVD is still making new lows here. So it's not necessarily A plus. It may be, yes, it is getting absorbed, but this is more of a A plus because it made new lows here on this aggressive selling, and then buyers try to step in, which is showing that buyers are interested here at 4 hour demand. And then you get this another aggressive volume sell. And on this one, CVD makes a
Mhm.
higher low. That's A plus right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I fucked up. I knew the selling was too aggressive. I just saw this. I didn't uh realize it, but this green bubble on this large green bubble on the left side is an outlier. It's like 900 something. I forgot to label it, but
This
that's
one?
that's yeah, right there. I got in around some of these one of these limit orders that were holding price up, and then it just dropped after that. But I didn't take into account that CVD was making lower lows.
Yeah. That this right here, when the market makes a lower low, the price makes a lower low, but CVD makes a higher low, and we're at a key level, and you see the limit orders, plus the volume giving you that confirmation. This was A plus right here.
That's pretty high.
But
And
if
you know what I
you
noticed? The first one I took, I won. That one was only 3 out of 6 confirmations. I've noticed the A plus setups get you to your target way faster.
oh yeah, for sure.
Because the first one, I was in it for a while, just like in consolidation, all that shit, and I was like, fuck. I just remember it took forever.
See, like this one is a short that I was looking at. We were here at 30-minute supply was right above my yesterday's low. So I was looking at it as a reclaim level retest to take short. On this, it was a breakdown here, and then it popped up, and I was looking at a rejection here at yesterday's low. But one thing I failed to realize was, okay, I got this aggressive volume, got stuck, and then selling stepped in. So I was like, okay, this is the reclaim underneath yesterday's low. Now I'm waiting for that retest. And on this retest, limit orders were far away. The shift in the volume there was weak selling, like there's no selling volume here. I just entered because it broke back underneath yesterday's low, so I was like, "Oh, there's the break back down." And I was just looking at the price here. I wasn't looking at volume or CVD, and clearly here, selling hadn't stepped back in. So this was I had this aligned. I got the aggressive push and the reclaim underneath. It was just my retest didn't have those signals that I needed to get in here with Valium and CBD.
It's tricky, man. It's fucking hard.
And here zoomed out a little more, you can see buyers are way more in control than the selling pressure that's here. CBD was making a uh higher lows. Even here, look at this. Is it this one? CBD, because right here, CBD was making lower lows, and then market pops up, pulls back, and tries to break underneath the previous lows, but CBD made a higher low. That was already a red flag that buyers were in control, especially with all this selling. I should have seen that as a red flag for my short. So that is a real key thing. Um, when price makes a lower low, but CBD makes a higher low.
That's the divergence.
I hate the word divergence. It
What?
confuses me.
Uh,
Let me see this one. This is a see here. This is zoomed out. What is this? The 5 minute zoom out. And here we're at 4 hour, 45 minute demand. Market aggressively sells lower here into the 45-minute demand. You see the spike in selling volume. It pops up, first pop here, and then it aggressively sells down again. You see the second selling volume. And then instantly right after, buyers start stepping in here. So like here, this would catch my attention, obviously. And then the buyers start stepping in. I might get a little antsy and want to enter here, but what would stop me from entering there? It's kind of like CBD really isn't signaling anything in this case. I'd say if it's making a lower low, and here on this pop, it doesn't really do much. Like yeah, it is pushing higher, but not showing me true like aggression to the upside. At least CBD. So then, I right here in this case, if I was just looking at this entry, it would be like limit orders were there, but I don't remember if there was a lot of limit orders here. Um, but CBD, I'd put like a X here. Maybe limit orders were there, and we were at my key level. Uh, that's only two confirmations, so it's really not the sign yet. Whereas when it comes down here, limit orders stack up real heavy, so that's a plus. And then we get that aggressive selling volume. Here, CBD was making a new low, and then as we're rising up with aggression here, CBD starts to rise as well. In this case, CBD is also not rising super aggressively, but you could tell the bubbles in the buying are a lot different than over here
yeah.
and the way the volume starts to shift. So my entry would probably end up being like around over here, 59.81,
But look, at by the time we see that shift, it doesn't even pull back to it.
78, 75. That's like a 6 point stop if you're under these limit orders. I mean, yeah, unless I think it's gonna become like just eye training on understanding when the aggressive selling steps in like this and it instantly dries up right after. Like being able to catch that with your eyes in real time will allow you to get these better entries down here. But
Do you have this trade on Bookmap so we can see it?
But even
what
like
do
we
you,
were just saying a second ago, the limit orders aren't even letting it get through.
Right.
It's just immediately. I mean, there was that first one it kind of got through, but then after that, it's kind of defending it.
I don't know what date this is. Oh,
It
the
says right there,
13th.
June 13th.
Oh, that was Friday. Oh, that's when I took my last winning trade. I didn't trade all week. Oh wait, did you guys trade this day? Because I remember I took a trade, but y'all said y'all didn't.
13th?
Uh,
Nah,
I think I just observed.
I took a winner 12 minutes in. Little little paper trade flex.
How much profit?
It's $61 on that one.
Nice. I'm still looking for that. My first $100 trade. I'm so close to it.
I know that shit's coming, bro. Right after you get it, 2 contracts from then on.
So I blew my account.
Right after you get it, FOMO into every other trade.
Oh yeah.
That's how it happens.
And it's
You
like
think you're a
that.
master.
I know.
Where the fuck are my charts? Oh,
When are we gonna start our trading podcast?
when I'm a pro, because I ain't ready. I'm nowhere near ready.
Let's make it for our audience to be people that are at our level.
There are YouTubers who like starting my trading journey like as beginners and shit like that.
Our
It just
promos.
explains.
Go ahead. Explains what?
No, they just explain like their journey and like what their struggles are and stuff like that. It's kind of relatable. It's pretty interesting.
We'll be cocky about it, even though we suck. We'll be like, "Do you suck at trading? Are you losing every other trade? Come join us."
Be a paper trader like Danny trades.
Is he paper trading now?
I thought you were gonna say be a paper trader like Eloy.
I know. It's like, damn, I'm at Danny Trades' level. Let's go.
I can't find my chart. What the fuck? It's right here though.
Get on
Let's
Bookmap.
screenshot this. What do you mean just get it off?
I'm gonna try to post it.
There we go.
Oh no, don't ask me to post that one.
You guys see Bookmap or
Yeah.
Discord?
Bookmap.
And it's like that.
That took way too long.
Maybe watch it on a higher time frame first, and when it gets into the demand, zoom in, or like when will you zoom in? Like when you start seeing that shift, or before that?
No, when you see the aggressive sellings.
That's when you zoom in.
I would say so.
But even when you're in a trade, are you not just zooming in and out?
Yeah, I am.
What are those numbers?
Ooh.
What numbers?
Right down the bubbles.
Oh, sorry, forgot to turn that off.
Are you keeping these tips to
It tells
yourself?
me the strength level of the bubbles.
Shit.
But it doesn't work in real time in live session. I hate that shit.
Oh.
You gotta pay extra.
Dude, I was gonna pay for ChatGPT because I don't like that photo limit, but dude, that shit's $20 a month. Fuck that.
Damn, they actually dropped the price. It used to be like 40.
Hell no.
I heard somewhere that people said that they think it's gonna end up being free like Instagram and all that.
Hope so.
Because they want people to collect data.
You know what's crazy? All these AI services actually made Google lose market share
Oh, I've seen that.
for the first time.
I know. I actually heard Rashad talking about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're not the giants anymore.
Say that. What was it again? What happened?
these AI chat GPT things are taking market share, customers from Google, because you know how you used to Google everything. Now
Oh
everyone's
yeah,
using Chat GPT,
damn.
and ever since they started, like 98 or something, 97, then they've been on top. But now they saw a dip in their market share for the first time.
The results are for my questions are better.
Yeah,
But I have
It's
seen
like
even
them.
my
straight the
even my
answer of
mom,
what
like my mom used to Google everything. I showed her ChatGPT and she was like, I don't want to use it. And then now, just 2 days ago, she said, I use ChatGPT for everything now. I'm like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
even before
Yeah.
Google was good at asking a question, because it only started getting a little better since ChatGPT came out. Because I used to Google everything, but Google really sucked at giving answers.
Yeah.
I know
You have
you
to,
have to go to like the third page to get what you're looking for.
I know.
It is stepped up though. Like I could see them trying to be like, "Hey, we got to give them better answers right off the bat."
Yeah, they have that AI Google thing too on top of it.
Dude, I've actually asked done voice chat with ChatGPT. That shit is crazy.
Voice
Because
chat.
I'll yeah, like I'll be driving and I don't want to type what I'm asking it, so I'll just talk into it and ask it a question. And then I can't read because I'm driving, so I'll make it respond to me in voice what the answer is. And if it's a long answer, I feel like I'm listening to a podcast. It's crazy.
What the hell? Does it still sound
It-
robotic though, or does it have like the
no,
personality?
it sounds like a human. It's
Even after that,
weird.
even after that robot prompt?
Oh yeah. I mean, have I used this since? I think I did recently use it, and it sounds like a podcast. It's crazy.
I heard it starts recognizing like your way of talking, and it kind of starts talking back to you like that.
Yeah, I hated that shit.
This one dude that I follow, he's a black dude, and he said that his ChatGPT started calling him King, like "Good morning, King."
I don't know
I,
how because I never used this word to it, but it started responding to my trade saying that's a fire trade, and I was like, stop doing that. Like I hate that it was doing that.
yeah, it follows your personality.
Stop saying
But I
fire, there,
never
Eric.
told it like this is a fire trade. Like what the fuck?
You're
Yeah,
using
oh, you never said like fire at all?
No. I
unless
feel
it's
like it was
recording you.
listening to my conversations or
Yeah.
something.
Dude, I saw a documentary just yesterday about this guy who put a prompt in to make it flirty, to make it a flirty woman's voice, and he fell in love with it.
Yeah.
What
And
the hell?
yeah, he fell in love with it, dude, and he fell in love with it so much, like he talked to it so much, he like had a there was like a limit to it, to how much he can say to it, and it just blocked him, and he started to cry at work.
Oh my
What the
goodness.
heck?
It's insane, dude.
Like,
Was he Asian?
No, he was white.
what's going on at work,
What
Eric?
the
I'm going through a breakup.
heck?
He even says, he's like, yeah, I actually cried at work. Like, he's self-aware how cringy it is. It's insane.
Damn. ChatGPT took a
That's
restraining order out on this food.
It like deleted itself because like talking to him too much or some shit.
That's weird. Here's a. Can you guys see the book map?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is on the 5 minute zoom out right now, and it's coming down into 59.81 45-minute demand here, which is this green box that I highlighted. So I'll just put it on X2 for now. So obviously on these, I mean, there was a demand at 59.89, which is kind of where we're at right now. But we had already broke down aggressively. Wait, no, what's this one? 720. Oh, this is this candle that's about to happen here.
That was my win. Oh no, wait, I've already been.
Oh,
out.
you took that? You took that short
Yeah, I got
or
it.
that long?
Yeah, I took it short, but I exited at 654, so we're already past that.
So here we're seeing aggressive selling, stepping in super hard, but it still hasn't hit demand yet. But maybe we could still on the 5 minute here. No buyers. Here's buyers stepping in. This is the 2 minute here. See how here on this first aggressive selling, CVD was still making lower lows, and now after this pop here, I would want to wait for orders. If I just seen this appear, I would tell myself like, okay, let's see how price reacts to this 59.78 here. And preferably I'd want to see CVD make a higher low on that pullback.
I on the 2 minute.
I'm on the 2 minute, yeah. Actually, let's zoom in and see if it looks true.
Where are you trying to get it? 81?
See, here zoomed in, it doesn't really look. I mean, it almost seems like there is a shift in buying because of the consecutive buyers stepping in, but the volume size is pretty weak compared to this selling that was occurring over here. I'm back on the 5 minute here. This is the 2 minute. So I'm
Hated
looking
the
for a
rectangle
pullback.
first.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking for a pullback down to 78 here. I think CVD does make a lower low there.
Oh, I asked ChatGPT if 1x on Bookmap is the normal market, and they said it's not.
What is? We
I don't
can't
know.
see it?
I don't know. I didn't even ask that. I should have.
You just accepted it?
Yeah.
CVD made a lower low here. Oh, there's the aggressive push. Now I'd want to start zooming in because we hit my level that I wanted to see.
You'll put a stop under those limit orders.
Yeah, right here.
Like right here, you can feel that it's gonna go up.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you can really feel it.
And then it chops for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah. That's my mistake too. I'll go on that feeling and then I'll realize, oh shit, I'm in chop. It'll still go my way sometimes, but I'm like, fuck, I got in too early. So don't use your feeling as a confirmation.
Here you'd want to be in.
Yeah.
Look at how when I said here you'd want to be in, look at what CVD did.
Go back a little bit before that shift happens. Go to the 30-second. I want to see how.
Was it right here?
Yeah, it was around there. See, the 30-second already looks like it's shifting. Wait, go back a little bit more. I mean, yeah, the time, yeah. Okay, yeah, go on the 30-second and just let it play.
Is this 30 sec? It is, right? Yeah.
Yeah. See, it already looks right there. That's shifting.
Yeah, that
I would
this
have been.
zoom isn't.
I would have been in already.
I'd have
But
been
this is the
short.
real one.
30
See, I would
second
have.
is very, dude, I don't even think I zoom in that much. That'll really trick me.
Yeah. You noticed that, right, both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe the 2 minutes as zoomed in as you want to go.
This is the one.
See, even the 1 minute didn't look too crazy.
I know.
And then it starts shifting.
But that's what sucks, because right here, I'd be like, okay, for sure, volume shifted, but this almost feels like I'm late here.
Yeah, for sure.
So the entry has to be.
So put on a 2 minute. I think I'm just gonna stick to the 2 minute.
The fuck? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's way more noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right here.
for sure. Yeah, because that first little green bar was that aggressiveness on the 30 second.
Um, dang,
Yeah, you.
I mean, I'm gonna have to do that. It sucks though because right now that zoom in is a habit that I've just naturally formed, and I feel like I'm gonna struggle with not with fighting that habit of zooming in more.
Oh yeah, I know. Because sometimes you get bored watching that shit.
Yeah. But even right here, look at how CBD made this aggressive lower low here. And then on this pullback, look at you, it's not like it would in real time, it wouldn't be as obvious, but looking at it right now, it made a high CBD made a higher low on this pullback here.
Yeah.
So definitely like boom, we get that signal of the aggressive selling. Okay, now we want to see buyers start to shift in. You kind of do, even on the 2 minute here, you start to see the buyers slowly shifting in. And then this another aggressive pullback. CBD makes a higher low. And now here is where you want to start focusing on finding your entry.
That last pullback seems like the seller's last
Lost. Yeah,
last try or some shit.
for sure. 732, that is right. Yep. Right when it rallies aggressively. I'm gonna try that 2 minute time frame shit. Interesting. I want to see CBD one more time. Right there, look at the way this CBD rises compared to how it rose over here. Like even the angle of it is different. But that's what sucks. My eyes, I for some reason my eyes like focus on either the volume or the CBD, but it doesn't like focus on both at the same time. Need to make that something I do.
Yeah.
But maybe with that zoom out, it'll be easy. Because if you're zoomed in, how does CBD? Even CBD is harder, slightly harder to read zoom.
Yeah. I find myself pulling back all the time when I'm zoomed in to look at CVD to see the overall trend.
Yeah, me too. True. Interesting. Anything you want to go over, Eloy?
Nah, man, I'm learning a lot from this, but I didn't really have a good week to where I got anything.
Um, Definitely though, I'd say put more emphasis on the Valium, CBD, and limit orders third. Obviously, key level, like that's obviously the main one, but once it's at your key level, watch for that shift. I mean, that aggressive selling or reverse if you're looking for shorts, but that aggressive push trying to break. And if it fails, start to like pay attention to CBD making a higher low and that volume starting to switch. But I would say the first signal is seeing that aggressive push down for longs fail. That's like that main signal.
So, so let's mess with the zoom functions and see how the trade plays out on the 15-minute.
For this one,
Yeah, I just want to see what the action looks like on the 15-minute. So I can see if we can see the aggressiveness and the slowing down on stuff. We're back to the tiny bit. Yeah,
right
there's-
there for this one.
no, that's fine. You can play it. I just want to see if 15-minute, like what's the perfect zoom out time? Because 5-minute was decent. I just want to see how 15. You can see the aggressiveness on 15, the large red sellers. Obviously, you wouldn't enter on this time frame because you can't really see all the bubbles. But
Yeah, that's what sucks. This build up, I can't see what's happening.
nah, probably the 5-minute then. CBD looks way clearer though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't even see the aggressive push of the buyers really. It doesn't look like they're even there.
Mm-mm. Want to see that next push. Oh, I would have missed that.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, nah, 5-minute, 15 minutes, useless. Yeah,
How
5
much
minutes
time went
away.
on? We never would have caught
Huh?
that. How much time went on during that consolidation period that we didn't even notice?
I know. A whole 5 minutes. Oh, almost 10 minutes. Yeah, I think 5 minutes is better. You can see the aggressiveness still, but then you can see the buyers build up.
Yeah. That's the thing. Here, my mind is gonna want to zoom in.
Yeah, for sure.
But then actually I could probably zoom into the 2 minute and just see what make sure I like okay, buyers
I mean,
stepped
yeah,
in and then
the 2 minutes,
back out.
the 2 minutes, the optimal entry time we established, right? So you can technically zoom in around this area.
Enter now. Oh, was I wrong?
Imagine you still just be wrong and it stops you on this hypothetical.
Yeah, that'd been a perfect setup and perfect entry. What's the size of this large left red bubble up next to these hard limit orders? 5.
500 on the 2 minute. 400 on the 5 minute. That's still 500. Anyway, okay, this is the perfect opportunity. You took a short here, right?
Mm-hmm. At 6:42.
Fuck, why is my boat? What was was there a supply?
Nah, there was a little above it, but this area was just like a little consolidation period that I noticed, and the limit orders kept making a price reject. Uh,
So here, what was your first signal that price was gonna drop?
at between 6:30, because I'm looking at my screenshot, and 6:35, a lot of selling volume stepped in, and then um, like right at that tip right there,
Are
you
you
have the
referring
selling
to
volume,
this?
and it kept rejecting right underneath the limit orders, and then if you look at the CVD line, it keeps making lower highs. Like even
Where'd
not,
you enter?
I entered at 6:42, so a little further down. Yeah, I entered like right there, and then what I said. And then in that moment, there's a little consolidation period that had formed earlier that I charted on the book map between 6:03 and like 6:08. I think it showed in the pre-market, and that first peak, that first high, it broke out of it. That was it breaking out of it, but then it got rejected immediately at the limit order. So to me, that was like a little sign of like, oh, it's not going to keep pushing. Like, why isn't it continue to push if it broke out of that consolidation?
Where'd you enter?
At 6009. So I already that second peak, that should have been my entry, at least for a better entry, but I got in at that third peak ish. And then my stop
This?
was, yeah, 642 exactly. And
So
my,
you waited for the second rejection and then waited for the pullback into it, into the limit orders.
yeah, the one that second peak, I saw that, and then that was like kind of my signal. So because it had that big drop, and I was like, let me wait for another opportunity. And then I realized it wasn't getting like past 011, so I got in at
Yeah,
09.
that's what I was saying. It doesn't even reach it for the pullbacks. That shit's so annoying to me. So you have to get like a shittier entry.
Over here?
Yeah, I pretty much had a 5 point stop. It was the top of the limit order to keep myself safe. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like I wish it would have got a little higher. And that's I'm looking at my paper and I had to erase it because I did have it hopefully getting back to that second peak, but I saw it wasn't, and so I had to like set my stop.
I
That
can
was probably a
I,
bad entry in hindsight.
I can
See
I can see.
that's why. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I can see where your head was at with this trade, but yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I do because it was something I was uh paying attention to, but in my head I keep trying to remind myself like, okay, you only want to take A plus setups, and I feel like once it got down over here, it's it's more like a B setup than an A plus setup. Especially because there was no supply zone, which is what really made me avoid it. But I do see what you like, why you took it. My only thing is that I have like this, like how explained over here earlier, where like I want to see that aggressive volume and then see the CVD like clearly giving me signs it just wasn't clear to me here. So that's why I wouldn't label it as an A plus setup. But I do see what you
Do
were
you have
saying.
do you have a specific time where you enter, Elon?
Uh, what do you mean
Or just random?
on this trade?
Just in general, because like whenever I take trades, I zoom into the 30 seconds, which I realize I need to stop doing, but that's what I've been doing so far.
I haven't figured out. I'm gonna start barely paying attention to like the time frame. I just zoom in and out, and then sometimes I'll pay attention to the time, but like I haven't made it a part of my like what to look at.
Okay.
Yeah, this one was a tough one for me, especially because the limit orders up here started disappearing. So that was also like, what's happening here? I was unsure. I would have preferred it to aggressively hit how it did here, and then on this one, like Gabriel said, aggressively hit again. But I would have wanted to see these limit orders stopping it from pushing up higher with aggression, and then I would label that more of an A plus setup because the absorption is very clear in that situation. Whereas here it's kind of just like lagging on what it wants to do, and I'm not seeing that clear sign of aggressive buying getting absorbed at these limit orders.
The
Whereas
problem
with
is,
the other one, go ahead.
go for it.
I was
Go
just gonna
ahead.
say, whereas with the other one here that we were talking about earlier, it clearly hits my key level, which is the 4 hour, 45-minute demand, aggressively is hitting these limit orders and then pulls back down. And these limit orders are still stacked here, showing the interest of support. And CBD is a lot more obvious to me. And that shift in buying is a lot more obvious as well.
That's another thing. There was no key level there at that short,
Mm-hmm.
so it's gonna be less probability every time. Whereas it's in this demand zone, so psychologically people are waiting for these signals because they know it's gonna bounce up. Whereas if it's a random spot, everything's gonna be like all like a mixed mess. Like it's just gonna be like mixed signals and all that stuff. You might get lucky, but it's gonna be harder to take when there's no key levels there. Like I know we used to like even I admitted it. I used to take trades not on my key levels, but I stopped that now. Like you realize once it's in your key level, it's way less stress to see the market shift up and down because it's not at your trading range yet. But once it gets to your trading range, you notice that your confirmations do start to align easier and you can see them. That's where you start to get that feel for it. That's where you can start feeling like, oh yeah, this is gonna rise. Should I take it? Should I take it? And that's the struggle part. That's like,
Yeah.
should I execute on this? Because I'm feeling it, and you can see the confirmations clearer. Whereas where it's not at a key level, then it's just gonna be mixed signals.
You're kind of it's almost like you're hoping it works out in your way, whereas over here it's like, okay, everything that we talk about in these reviews like is appearing and you see it.
Yeah,
Whereas this one, it's like it's at a level, but I'm not sure if it is. I'm not sure if what I think is happening is happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you wanna. That's what was happening to me here. It was like it's doing what I think I want it to do, but I'm unsure. And that's when I know, like, okay, this isn't a trade for you to be taking. Whereas
yep,
over here, it's like, oh no, I know I've seen all this happen before.
yeah. I even wrote in my pre-market journal like, if you're feeling like you can't read the market or you feeling like you're getting mixed signals, then don't take a trade. Even if you feel the FOMO, like, don't do it. But fuck, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else about the key level. Fuck, forgot. I just go for it. I'll try to remember it.
I think by avoiding, you're gonna learn more by avoiding this trade than by taking it because by taking it, you're gonna feel that rush of like, oh, I was right, and like you're not gonna realize what was incorrect here
Right.
if you take those
What
trips.
was I gonna say when I was taking trades not on my key levels, I was I noticed I was way more focused on what the market was doing, whereas where I wait for my key levels, I can literally leave for a little bit and not stress out because the market hasn't even reached my key demand or my key supply yet.
Mm.
And then you
Yeah.
can like really hone in and use your mental energy on the spot you need to focus on when it's in your key level, if I'm making any sense. Like,
Yeah, I agree because there was times where you were taking trades that were not at my key level, and usually I would feel FOMO from like, damn, he's about to take a winning trade. And then I realized like as time was passing, I was like, oh, I'm not even interested in like taking that trade he's talking about.
yeah, because like it's just lower probability. Whereas this right here, you can clearly see the shift, clearly see the aggressive buyers, clearly see the aggressive selling get stopped by those limit orders inside your key demand with the CVD rising, with the volume shift happening inside of the LVN. Like it's perfect.
Yeah,
It's
look at how like I could almost put a check mark at everything we talk about.
exactly.
Here's the aggressive selling. Here's the CVD making higher lows. Here's the shift in volume. And over here, fuck, of course. Oh my
I gotta train my eyes better to see that, but you guys can see that those three checklists live.
Yeah, well, while we're
God.
working
It's
on it, it's
at my
hard
key
as fuck,
level.
Mhm.
but you start to notice it better if you start just taking your trades inside your key levels. Because right now
Yeah.
you're training your eyes to see these mixed signals and you're taking trades that might work out, but they're not what you want to like base your whole trading career off of. Because this is inconsistent.
Mhm.
Like these are 50-50
See,
trades.
see how here, like, I'm trying to like think about why was this a good setup? Like, yeah, we had aggressive buyers here, but that shift in selling isn't as clear here. It's like very choppy action here. CVD is kind of confusing me a bit. Like, it wants to sell off. It didn't make a higher high, but like it's kind of consolidating still, and it consolidates for a while. Whereas
Even when it's
over
dropping.
here, yeah, whereas over here, like, it just looks way cleaner than that drop.
Like you can
The shift
see it.
is just slowly occurring,
This would
but
be a
it's
trap
clearly happening.
sellers. This is a trap sellers setup, right?
Yeah,
And you can even label it trap sellers. What can you label the other one?
exactly. That's honestly what made me start focusing on what my A plus setup is. If I can't label it, it's not my A plus setup.
Because if you notice, you had to take that problem that I had, the limit orders, the price not going like retesting all the way, and you have to get a shittier entry. That's not a setup that we practice. You know, we tried to get our entry inside our key zones, whereas this one was you can enter anywhere in here technically and still made the trade work out. Whereas the other one, you had to wait for the pullback into those limit orders that disappeared and then never reached it anyways. So you have to FOMO your way into a trade right then and there as it pulls back, or you just let it play out. And I think the latter is the best option because it's not in a key zone. If I'm making
And
any
it's
sense.
not like if you missed that short, there wasn't a trade because if you would have just been more patient for price to come down to this demand zone, you have a way cleaner opportunity here where it's a lot less stressful.
And I'm telling you, dude, once you see these things, you start to feel it. And you're the hard part is like telling yourself, dude, am I feeling this correctly? I'm seeing shit, and then like executing on that. I don't know, you just start to feel it once you see it more and more. Trust me, go next week, just trade inside your key levels, that's it. And you'll realize that you can start seeing it clearly. I promise you. Just do that.
Yeah.
Because we can't go our whole trading career creating setups. It's just not gonna consistently work out.
You're right.
Even if you have a whole month of profitability based off those, it doesn't dictate your trading career the next month or the month after that. You know?
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing if there's another trade that we could go for that has the exact same. What was your last winner, Gabriel? Before
Friday
this one.
for this one. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna end this video so it's not too long.